to everyone present here, and I welcome you on behalf of SIRC of ICI to today's CPE program using Excel in the bank audit. So we have our speaker amongst us, CAK ANANTH LAKSHMI NARAYANA sir. Sir, I request you to kindly come forward and occupy the dais, sir. Okay. So before we officially begin, I request members to kindly stand up for our ICI motto song.
य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति कामं 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 कामपुरुषो पुरुषो निर्मिमाणः निर्मिमाणः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्मा तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकः शतः सर्वे तदूनात्यति कश्चन एतद्वैत 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 एतद्वैत.
Thank you. Please be seated. So before we get into the section, I would like to give a brief summary of our speaker, CAK ANANTH LAKSHMI NARAYANA sir. He is a chartered accountant from Hyderabad with extensive experience in auditing, financial reporting and regulatory compliance. He specializes in financial statement analysis across sectors such as manufacturing, infrastructure, software and public sector undertakings, and he has conducted statutory, internal, bank and tax and GST audits. His professional strength also include SOPs design, ERP implementation, internal financial controls and bank audits covering concurrent stock, revenue and due diligence assignments. He is also accomplished academic contributor and trainer, serving as a faculty at premier institutions including NASIN, GST and Commissionerate and ICI Centre of Excellence, Hyderabad. He has also delivered corporate training session on AI-driven financial analysis and advanced tools such as Python, VBA, Power Automate and Power BI, and also regularly conducts workshop on integrating AI and automation in audits. He is also involved in mentoring students and professionals on IndAS, IFRS, US GAAP, financial data interpretation and dashboard creation, and he also brings with him more experience in technological domain. Sir, we are grateful for your presence here today with us. As a token of gratitude, I would request C. Abdul Aziz sir to kindly give away the memento to our speaker. Thank you, sir. So I now request C. Anand sir to kindly take over the session.
Very good evening to all the respected members. At the outset, I thank WSB board and the SIRC Chennai for giving me this opportunity to deliver this session. So to start with, so this is in this context. First, let me move into the conversion of a data from semi-structured to a structured. So then later part, sometime I'll show you how to we convert the unstructured into a structured. So second part, but primarily from semi-structured to a structured data, I'll try to explain. Say example, if this is a loan balance file that we receive in a text format, usually we take the help of Excel to convert this semi-structured text data into an Excel format. So we usually copy, then open a blank Excel. Paste the data. So if this is the data having multiple columns, so but when I copied the data from text, so if I see I can see only data in column A. When I go to column B, so I don't see any data. So now I want to convert this into an Excel. So to do that, the best feature having in Excel is text to column. So text to column is available under data tab. So I will go to data tab. I'll go to text to column feature in the ribbon under data tools. So I'll click text to column. In text to column there are two methods. One is delimited, then the fixed width method. In our case, because that depends on the data that we are converting in the given set of data, because I little go fast with the familiar activities so that we can spend some time on the areas which is actually new from my context. If you are already aware of that, that's okay, but so here in our case the data, when we look at it, it is actually delimiting with a symbol between two columns. So that is why we have to use delimiter here. So to do that, since we are having a special symbol, I am copying that symbol. I will select the column, I will go to text to column, I will go to delimiter, then I will go next. There the delimiter is a special symbol which I have copied, so I have pasted. Then I will click next, then finish. So my unstructured data from text is now structuredly converted in a manner which I can analyze from here onwards. So the first step of converting a raw data or a structured or unstructured data into an Excel for the purpose of analysis is an important step that we have done in one scenario. So now what do we do? The second step is to analyze the converted data. So how do we analyze? Say what analysis we can perform. Say if I just to take you through the data, it is having a zone, region, branch which might not be useful, the branch ID, the account number, the account name, the scheme code, the currency, the sanction limit, the closing balance of the particular loan, interest rate, then debit preferred interest, so not sure what this is, then interest table code, then pegged flat, account open date. There are these only these fields in the given set of data. Of course, when we say analysis is always depending upon the type of data that we are referring to. So here in the given set of data, so what analysis we can perform? Say example in the say interest rate, we want to perform some analysis over the interest rate. So what analysis we can perform? Say interest rate for a given scheme code. So what is the minimum interest rate, what is the maximum interest rate, and what is the spread between the interest rate? So whether the spread is normal or abnormal, so is what the analysis we wanted to perform. So because always performing an analysis on a data is depending on the professional judgment or the skepticism of an auditor, because it depends on his thought process. So what to analyze in a given set of data. Say if I want to analyze the scheme code respect to interest rate spread, so accordingly I want to pick samples in a given set of data. So what we can do, of course there are multiple methods. Say let us go to method 1 using Excel formulas. So what formulas we can use? First, in a given set of data, if I see the data, the loan data, here there are around 5,900 change line items were there having scheme codes. So the scheme codes will definitely be duplicated because there are multiple type of loans. So I'll get a unique scheme code with the help of Excel formula. So how do I get it? So is equal to, there is a formula called unique. So unique is the formula. So in a given set of data, I will select the total column, because out of all those 5,900 line items, I want to draw the unique scheme codes. So that is why I am using unique code. So click enter. Now in the given set of 5,900 line items of a data, so I was able to get 140 unique items. So maybe the table is there, you could not be able to see, but here I can see that around 140 line items were there which are unique scheme codes. So now for each scheme code, I require a minimum interest rate, I require a maximum interest rate, then I require a spread of the difference between the minimum and a maximum. So to get a minimum rate, to get a maximum rate, then I will arrive difference or a spread. Let us keep a small column width. How do I get minimum rate and maximum rate? With the help of formulas. we have formulas min ifs and max ifs, similar to sum ifs and count ifs. So we'll go through all these formulas now. So what is min ifs is equal to, we'll understand the formula with the while performing the analysis itself. So min ifs, if you see here itself it shows, it returns the minimum value among the cells specified by a given set of conditions or criteria. So when I get minimum ifs, it is asking me the range, then a criteria range. What is the minimum range that I need to select here? To draw a minimum interest rate in the set of data for a scheme code of CD0GP, which is a type of scheme code, what I need to select as a minimum range, because my criteria is scheme code and my requirement is to get a value of interest rate. So from the data I will go to interest rate and I will select the total column. The minimum range is from the interest rate, comma, the criteria range is going to be the scheme code, comma, the criteria is the scheme. I got a minimum interest rate, and if I want a maximum interest rate, the same formula I can use it, but instead of using min if, I can use max ifs. So similarly, the max if the interest range is going to be this, comma, then again the criteria range is going to be the scheme code, comma, the criteria is going to be this. So I got a maximum range. Now if I get a difference, so maximum minus minimum is a spread. So now I will select this, I will select the total 3 columns and apply the total formula to all the scheme codes, so that automatically I will get the total spread of all the columns. Now if I see here, how can I analyze this? Analysis as a part of abnormality. So which is more abnormal, means having high interest rate. So I can use filter here or I can use sort here. So if I want to sort the largest variance, I will click sort. Sorry, I need to, sir. I will remove the last column. Now I will sort from the largest to smallest. Sort by largest to smallest. We are having some difference. There is something here. Yeah, correct. So total value has to be pasted. Now if I apply largest to smallest, I will get a maximum spread here. So if I get a maximum spread here, so what happens? So this could be my sample pickup. So what would be the reason for 9.3 change to a 16.25 in a given scheme code is what analysis I can draw. This is a point 1. Then what if I want to know how many number of loan accounts were there in the given scheme? Then I need to use count. So how to use the count here? Similar to the max or min, I can use count ifs formula. Using count ifs formula, I need to select a criteria range. So just here there is no minimum range here or maximum range, just criteria range. So I will select criteria range, comma, then I will select the criteria. So I have total 5 loan accounts in a given scheme code. So then if I want to know the sum of the loan balance, sum, what is the sum of loan balance here? So balance as on so on. So this is the total closing balance in a given set of data. In the given set of data, if I want to know the total closing balance, then sum ifs of the sum range. What is the sum range here? The j column, comma, The criteria range is going to be my scheme code, comma, the criteria is going to be my scheme. So again I'll select both the columns, I'll click on the applying to total rows. So this is the total sum of loan balance in a given set of data. So with the help of this data, with using max if, min if, sum if, count if, I will calculate interest spread and I will verify how many loan accounts were there, what was the total loan balance in the each scheme code. This is one way of doing it. But since now how I forgot the formula, because we know that there is a formula, but we actually forget it because of that time, because of the time we have, though we know, though we have demonstrated at multiple places, though we have used that, we usually forget. How to remember a formula? Is it important, or is there any shortcut? If there is a shortcut, what are all the shortcuts? If there is a shortcut in this scenario, there is one shortcut, because when I say this sort, filter, or ifs, sum if, count if, minimum if, maximum if, any kind of if functions, then getting a unique number. So all these kind of activities can be dealt by one single feature in Excel called pivot. So one pivot table can do all these things without remembering a formula, because pivot have that capability. So how to do that with the help of pivot? So I have selected the total data set, the raw data, whatever we have converted from Excel into the text into the Excel, where I have selected for the purpose of analysis. Point 1. Point 2, now I need to insert a pivot table for the table, the data set that I have selected. So how to go? Insert pivot table. So in the new workbook, let's go to the new workbook. So here I have got a pivot table field. So I need to select the rows and values that I require. So what do I need to put in the rows column here? Scheme code, because that is the criteria for me. So for each scheme code, what I require? I require a minimum interest rate. So how do I calculate a minimum interest rate? First I need to interest rate. Where do I place this interest rate? Because we have four fields here. So whether in filters or the columns or the rows or values, in which field do I need to place the interest? Which field? In values. So if I place in values, it will automatically be sum upped. Or do I need to place it somewhere? Or if I place under rows itself, I will be able to see the information, but it is not in an organized manner, or it is not in a manner that I can draw the difference between the lowest and the highest interest rate. So even this is not workable. So how do I convert this? Here itself, in the values itself, I can, because since it is by default it is a sum of interest rate, I can change the property. So I will go to this, I can go to the field settings. So there, instead of sum, we can see here, I can select min. If I select min, automatically the result is min ifs of a scheme code. Again, if I want to get a maximum, what I need to do? The same process, I need to drag the interest rate into the values. Again, by default the feature is sum, so I need to change the settings, value field settings, from sum to max. So I got a minimum rate, I got a maximum rate. Then third, what I need to do? I need to have a count. If I want to count the total number of loan accounts, then what I need to do? Do I need to drag the interest rate, or do I need to drag any other thing? I need to drag the scheme code, but count. So automatically the count will be appearing, since this is a text. Had it been a value, it would have been by default sum, but since it is a text, it has been considered a count. Then if I want sum, so obviously we know the sum. What sum we require? We require a sum of balance. So by default, a balance will be summed. So instead of using formulas which we tend to forget in the natural course of the time or the speed, we forget, and to have an alternative, we have a pivot table in this case, but not for all the situations. So to tackle that, can we use AI here? Can we use AI? Say example, what I will do, I will delete this. I will delete all the working that I have done. So delete, I will delete all these formulas too. I will delete everything. So again I have a raw data. So from this raw data, how can I use AI here to draw the same analysis? The analysis of spread between the highest and lowest interest rate. How do I do that? So any alternatives, because many of us would have used many AI models, because in the market we have so many AI models, popularly say ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, we have so many things. So many of us would have used mostly for the purpose of drafting. So in this scenario, in the given context of bank audit, for the purpose of this analysis, so having your experience, so how can we use AI, sir? Of course, using AI, there are multiple methods. So directly taking the information into the AI, or integrating the AI with Excel, or building some tool. Because this is 1 month data, what if the same scheme code's interest rate varies in another month? Because if I can have a data annually, I can have a data monthly also. But if I check annually, will it be proper? Or if I check monthly data for all the 12 months or 13 months, and then compare the interest rates for all the months, the spread for all the months, will that be more valid? So obviously, more analysis, more accurate result. So how do I tackle that? For 1 month I can do this, okay, but for all the months, so my time can go waste here. So I can automate by building a tool. So multiple methods of using AI, sir. So but primarily, if we want to use AI with the experience we have using the any AI model like ChatGPT, Perplexity, or a Claude, how can we use that? One, uploading data. Of course, we say confidentiality is the first word. That too particularly bank data, where the total bank is having the customer details, amount of loan outstanding, and all the personal information. Say this is a loan balance, that is why this information. Had it been a customer master file, so each customer address, because I want to analyze a customer master file, wherein each customer master, the total customer master file will be having a each customer's personal data of phone number, email ID, address, etc., or PAN details or GST details. So if I want to find out whether there are any duplicate customer IDs for a single customer, or a single customer is opening a multiple accounts with different account holder names for routing of transactions, but having a common phone number or common email ID or common address, if I want to perform that kind of analysis, obviously, of course, in this similar manner, I would have been using Excel. Using Excel to that extent is fine, but if I want to make it more quick, I can take the help of AI. But when I say AI, confidentiality is the first issue. Of course, resistance is there. Why AI? We have Excel, right? We can do it, right? But why AI? Of course, some resistance is there. But moving from calculator to Excel, there is a resistance. Similarly, moving from Excel to AI, of course, there will be resistance. But exploring a full potential of AI to the extent possible in the given context, so knowing that or awareing of that is also very important. So whether we want to choose that way or this way, it depends depending on the skilled labor or articles that we have while performing an audit. But being aware of those methodologies is also very important, whether we perform or not. So now please come up, friends. So how do we analyze the same analysis in the given set of data with the help of AI? So one outcome is that, so whichever is integrated, like say Copilot integrated in the MS Excel or Word or PPT. So using such integrated AI tools, so will not allow the information to go outside our system, so that whatever analysis that AI is performing, that will be performed within the system, within the Excel or Word, so that my data confidentiality will not be lost, is one thought. So the second thought can be, so there is only one thought, or the second thought directly giving a file, or changing the names or removing the, because here for the purpose of analysis I don't require account number, account name, anything. I will remove all those columns. I will keep only 2 columns or 3 columns, because scheme code nothing to do. This CD, so who can understand this? No one can understand. So there is a different scheme code. Interest rate can be anything, so it can be assumed as a sample data also. So then balance amount, so nothing. So usually, so one way of performing is using a sample data or removing the important columns that will understood by AI that this is a so and so confidential information. So those columns can be removed, and uploading is another thought. First, let us practically do that. What sir suggested, what sir thought process is that, just to add one more point to that. Say example, if you see my screen, you can see one add-in, say Claude. It is similar to ChatGPT. Claude is one of the AI to AI model. So like Copilot, ChatGPT, Claude is one of the things. So I have integrated the Claude because I have a paid version of Claude. That is why I am referring to Claude. Similarly, we can refer to the other AI models, so like Copilot, anything. So now I am having a Claude. I'll click that. So it has opened here, because at the back end initially what happens is that it will ask to log into the account. So with the help of our email ID, we need to log into the AI model, so that we can then only perform our prompts in the AI within Excel. So that I have done already. But if you want to do this, point 1, this will work only in Microsoft 365 version. So Windows 10 or more. So that is one of the system requirements that we require. So Microsoft 365 and Windows version 10 version 10 or more is very important. Now how this has to be done? I can go to add-ins. In the home button I can see add-in is one of in under the ribbon, or simply I can go to search and I click add-ins. So I can find the same add-in tool. If I click add-ins, then you can see search add-ins. Since I have already added, it is reflecting here, but if you don't find it, you can simply type Claude, so you will find it. So Claude by Anthropic, you can find it. So you can click it as an add-in, it will automatically show you like this. So you have to log in, then you can use it. Fine. Now we are speaking about, instead of uploading the raw data or sensitive data directly, because uploading means what? Say I will open AI, the same Claude I am referring to. What usually do, I will click this plus button. Sorry, first I need to save this file. I have not saved this. I will click save. I'll save under some folder in downloads, because since I need to upload, so in downloads I was saving the file. I saved the file. General a blind way of using AI is that just go to that upload button, add files. I will select the file which I want the AI model to read it. I have uploaded. Then I can give my requirement. What is requirement? Requirement of my thought, what I was thinking to analyze. So if I wanted to analyze a scheme code interest rate spread, that I need to give convey to the AI model. That process of conveying my requirement to the AI is called prompt. So what we do here, in the given data, so in the given data as attached in Excel, we don't need to bother about spellings, it will automatically correct it. Please analyze the interest rate spread for each type of scheme code is what my requirement. So I'll click enter. Let me also define the output format, because when using AI, if it is not a paid version, if I give the total lump sum data, my tokens will unnecessarily be consumed, because since it is a free version, if it is a free version, usually we'll have token limit. So unnecessarily the token limit will be consumed if I ask it an unnecessary data. So since it is a sample, so I will ask it to give a first 10 rows. Only answer the starting 10 rows information, 10 rows or count. Once I confirm the output format, we can proceed for all, or first 10 scheme codes would be more appropriate. So let me see what output it can provide. This is a blind way of providing a data to AI. So why I am specifically informing you is that, so there is another intention, so just I will convey once this is done. So it is processing it, so with the help of some JavaScript or Python script, so it will perform and it will give the output. So this is one way. Let us wait for output. Then the second way is, as one of our member was informed, that better instead of uploading the sensitive data to outside AI model, so let us integrate the AI model in the Excel itself or Word itself, so that our information will not be moved to the third party. So if I want to do that, the same prompt what I will do, I will give it in the, this text is no longer relevant. Here the same prompt I will be giving here. Let me copy the same prompt, but here just I will change that as attached in Excel is not required. So in the given data, please analyze the interest rate spread for each type of scheme code. So for so and so and so. So let me click enter here. So it will also be processing the second method. The second method of using AI for analysis is what here. Now if you see, it has given some format that this is a scheme code. So number of loan accounts, I did not ask for number of loan accounts, but it has given automatically. Minimum rate is this, maximum rate is this, average rate also it has given. Then spread it has given as 0. Then spread band is uniform. So but here the spread band is wide. Likewise it has given, and it has given some analysis, 7% for 555. Likewise it has given some buckets. It has given some explanation too. So one method of having a analytical information with the help of AI. The second method is, sorry I cannot provide here, because if you see here, the Claude is experiencing a high demand. Because of high demand, this is not processing, but the same way. So instead of it providing it somewhere, it will automatically add a sheet here. In the sheet itself, it will give the response. So we can straight away find it, because of this I was not able to. This is the problem with AI. I am unable to. Of course, if we consider a scenario where we get a bank audit in remote area, of course having itself internet itself is a challenge. We used to carry modems, so there. But if that time the AI reply like this, so everything will be collapsed. So we cannot blindly trust this, but there is a methodology. Still we can use AI, so that I will explain you now. So it didn't give reply, but what was the output is that here itself in the new sheet it will give the response, wherein we can see a neat table stating each scheme code, minimum rate, maximum rate, spread will be given, and if I ask for analysis, it will give analysis also. This second method of doing. Then there is a third method. What if I don't have internet? But before that, before going to a third methodology, even in the second method, is my data confidential? Is my data because ultimately using AI is one method, but confidentially maintaining the confidentiality is the first priority, because we promise in the engagement letter stating that a clause, a confidentiality clause stating that we will not compromise the data or transfer the data to any third party only for the purpose of audit we are obtaining, or for the purpose of documentation we are collecting the data and keeping with us. But without doing that, if you are exporting the information, then it is going to be a liability against us. So to escape from that, what is the methodology? But still we want to use AI here. So then there comes a tool, there comes a concept called tool, which I'll demonstrate further. So, but whether here the confidentiality issue is there means yes. Even though my data I did not upload like in the first methodology directly into the AI model, even the second methodology wherein the integrated version of AI model with Excel or Word, if I am throwing some data, or if I am giving access to view the data whatever it sees, it will be captured, taken to their processing centers, it will process and give an output. So even the second methodology also, my data, even though it is integrated, it is compromised. I cannot say that since I have not physically uploaded. No, whether you have physically uploaded or given access to view the information, that is compromised. It will be taken to the processing centers of the, say if it is Anthropic, OpenAI means OpenAI, so their processing centers, it will be taken, that will be processed there, and answer will be provided from the processing center directly in our system. So it is compromised. Even the second methodology is also not a safe method, but the second methodology we can use as said earlier, we can hide the sensitive information, only make visible the important information, like only the relevant information like scheme code, interest rate, which it cannot do anything. So those information which is not sensitive only can be made visible. Only with the help of that visible information we can use this. The third method, even without internet, even without compromising data, building a small tool, simple with the help of AI, we can automate much things. So how to do that, I will demonstrate. But before going to that step, I would want to do some more thing in the Excel automation. So which I call it as Excel automation. When we say Excel automation, that feature is called a feature of automating repetitive tasks in Excel is called macro. So we call it as a macro. First I will take you to that concept. So there we will finish the basics of all this Excel. Then we can move to a little advanced version of Excel for the purpose of analyzing a term loan, for the purpose of analyzing a CC or OD loans. So we can go to that context, but before that, let me take you through the important. So as a part of introduction, I have informed you that how do we practically analyze the evergreening of loan accounts, that I'll demonstrate here, and with the help of VB macro, I'll try to demonstrate. So I am just closing this because just finally verifying if it is working here or not. No, it's not working because of high demand. So before I take you to the concept of VB macro, how many of you are aware of this macro, sir? Having a basic overview of macro, but there is a small difference between macro and VB macro. A small difference. Macro is a broad word. Just macro is something to automate a repetitive task. We call it macro. But when we say VB macro, Visual Basic for Application, VBA, it has some underlying technology to perform tasks that will automate our work. So recording a steps for the purpose of automation is called macro. Automating a task with the help of technology by writing a code is called VB macro. I'll just explain both the things practically now. So just to understand exactly what this macro is, macro, I am speaking about macro, not VB macro. Say we have 3 sets of data. Is my voice audible, sir? Just let me know if I am not audible. I have 3 sets of data. Say for 3 months, if you see there are 3 sheets, month 1, month 2, month 3, 3 sets of data. Now if I see it is just pure raw data, Now for the purpose of say presentation, I wanted to make some arrangements to the data, maybe color arrangement or the table arrangement something. So all the three data, if you see, just it is a raw data extract of some ERP, assume. Now say I want to prepare this data first. Before doing this, what I will do, I will go to the developer tab I am going to use, because whatever I want to apply, whatever I was applying for month 1, I want to do the same thing for all the rest of the months. So I want to repeat, automate the remaining months by looking into the first month activity. So how do I do that? To do that, first I want to record the activity that I was doing. How do I record the activity that I was performing in Excel? That recording feature is having under macro. So record macro under developer tab. So under the code ribbon, you can see record macro. Click record macro. So whatever the activity you wanted to automate, click that. First click, you can name it. So what name you want to keep it? Say automation example. You are naming it to save in your work, you want to save in this workbook or the total your system or somewhere. So for timing, I want to have in this workbook itself. So click OK. So I am going to save the macro with the name automation. So now I was about to start what I want to automate. First, I am selecting the total table, total data. What I will do, first I will click randomly, I will do it quickly. So make some color. I will make this bold. I will make this bold, or I can keep here some color. Say since it is a profit, I will keep it some green. Likewise, I did something, or if it is a loss, I will click red for time being. So I have done something. Some activity I have done for 1 month. Now I want to automate the activity for all the months in the similar manner. To do that, what I will do, first I have recorded the macro. Again I will go to developer. If you see, it is like stop recording because it is under recording. I have recorded my steps, what I want to automate. Now I was clicking to stop recording. If I click stop recording, the macro is saved in my workbook. Now if I want to repeat the same step for the next month, do I need to do the same selection of the data, applying tables, colors, everything? Actually no, because I am having a feature called macro within Excel where it will automate a repetitive steps. So how to do that? Similar same under developer tab, go to earlier we went to record macro. Now we will click macros. Click macro. You see that there is one macro which is saved in the workbook with the name of automation. Say if I have saved 10, so all the 10 lists would have been appeared here. Since I have saved only one, so one with the name automation is there. I click run. So in a click of a second, so everything is automated here. If I go to the third month, again wherever I keep it, say if I earlier where I have kept my cursor, I have selected here. I have kept my cursor in month 2 and I have clicked automation. Now say if I keep it somewhere, now I will click run macro, run. Still it will do because it will record the irrespective of my cursor which cells I have performed. Those cells it will remember, and in those cells it will execute the automation. So this is just a demo to understand the feature of macro. But where do we use this macro, sir? In the bank audit. Macro, not Visual Basic Macro. Visual Basic Macro has so much of usage in the bank audit. But say in the context of macros, can we use this? What are all the areas where we can automate repetitive tasks? Say maybe converting text to Excel, multiple loan accounts if you want to convert. Of course, we can use the same feature. Say one loan account file, because say I have selected sample of 20 accounts. 20 loan accounts, 20 loan accounts of borrowers. Now because if I am drawing some text report from the CBS, maybe it Finacle or any other CBS, if the text format for a loan account will be common, so if I use macro for the purpose of converting a text into an Excel, of course these days the banks itself are having internal tools to convert a text into Excel by default, and they are sharing the Excels itself, possibly in SBI like that. But even otherwise, if I want to automate, simply if I just convert one text file of a borrower account or loan account and I record a macro, similarly how many files I load it, just if I click a macro, by default everything is converted from a unstructured into a structured format for the purpose of analysis. Fine. So this is just small demo, sir. So any doubt in understanding this demo, sir? Otherwise you can proceed for another aspect with the help of VB macro only. So I am now referring to a VB macro wherein repeating the automatic repetitive steps into automation. In that process I have just demonstrated a demo to you. Now in the context of bank audit, I have given an example that even in case of converting a text file into an Excel, we can use VB macro, so that I can use the same macro file for all the loan accounts in a click of a button, so that automatically the text files can be converted into an Excel. So that is that we can use it. Now in the course of evergreening of loans, what is evergreening of loans, sir? Evergreening of loans, the concept of evergreening of loans, anyone, sir? Sir? Exactly. So just fresh loans, issuing fresh loans to convert a substandard or a NPA, some SMA account into a normal standard account. A fresh loan is issued to close the old loan, then a new loan is issued. How to find or trace such kind of loans? Of course, when we visit a bank, what we usually do is we will ask the bank management to share the total list of accounts opened and closed during the year with the customer number, account number, the date of opening, the date of closing for all the loan accounts. So likewise, say sample basis, I am having this loan. So not this loan, this report. So for some period, it may be any period. So just if I take you to the data what we are now working on, serial number, customer ID, customer identification number, account number, the product description, the date of opening account, limits, balance in the open account, then the date of closing, limits closed account, then the balance closed, etc., etc. Then the type of loan, that is opened or closed during a period, during a month, or whatever the report we have requested for. Now say for one kind of loan, say usually or mostly where do we find this evergreening of loans is gold loans. Maximum we see in gold loans. Say example, if I want to verify specifically in a gold loan, what do we do? Say first what I am doing, whatever I am doing, again I am recording a steps. First here we are practically implementing this macro either in conversion of a data structure, semi-structured into a structured data, point 1, point 2, even for the purpose of automating a repetitive task. Say if I am doing this for 1 month, to do the same activity for all the months, I need to record a step, because converting text into Excel is actually easy these days, or the bankers itself, they are directly providing a data in Excel itself, so that may not be much useful. But identifying evergreening of loans, that process could be slightly typical unless I have skilled articles available with me in the bank audit. So it may not be possible for me to easily identify or trace it. So in the absence of such skilled articles, or maybe during a time constraint, so if I am not able to train my articles properly because of the bank audit last minute or something, so then I can use this feature to record a process which will automatically repeat the steps. So before doing what I am doing here, again going to developer. So to record something, a repetitive task, I am going to developer, because I am doing maybe for a month or for one branch example. So developer tab, I am recording my activity. So start. So here what do I name this? say gold loan. I'm just naming it as gold loan because I'm actually trying to trace any gold loans were issued to close the earlier due loans. So gold loan is what the name I have kept. Click OK. I should not give the space here. Gold loan. I have kept some name. So if you see the status was turned to stop recording, means it is now under recording. Now whatever I do, it is recorded as a macro in the Excel. So what first in a given set of data, first I need to filter the total loan accounts. So I am just filtering the total loan accounts. Here I am able to find the total loans. If I see the name of loan is jewelry loan, JW. So I filtered the jewelry loans. So now I was able to capture only jewelry loans. I am copying the data because out of all the loans I was segregating the jewelry loans. I am segregating. So data is segregated. So now out of all the loans I have segregated only jewelry loans having a separate sheet. So I am renaming the sheet only jewelry loans with some name I have kept it. Now the third step is, first step is understanding the data, and second step is going to be the bifurcation or removing a data from all the loans into a specific gold loan data. Then third step is, sir, here just in your thought process, so how do you calculate, how do you trace the evergreening of loans, sir? Because I may be having a date of opening, I may be having a date of closing, but if you see the data, for each date of closing there is no against date of opening. So either for a loan, because since it is a details of loan accounts opened and closed during the year, or for a month, for that month a loan account that is closed is under one row, a loan account that is opened is under another row. So now if I want to exactly identify what are all the loan accounts which are opened and closed on the same date in a given set of data, since we are familiar with Excel, so how do we find it out, sir? Just have a guess. So what if we do, we can perform the accounts that were open and closed during there, because we have so much short time there. So now in the given set of data I need to quickly analyze it to identify the loan accounts opened and closed during the year. So what would be our thought process? So how to do, because how to do is the first question. So how to do, of course we have Excel, with the help of Excel we do. Maybe, sir, customer ID, combine date. How do we combine data for, maybe with the help of VLOOKUP. So for each customer ID or account number, sir? Customer ID. So that is super. So customer ID is relevant because account number would be obviously different. So because issuing a fresh loan to close the earlier loan account, so both loan accounts will be different. So for me customer ID is the key column. So the second step is, how do I combine the loan account, combine the opening and closing? Maybe with the help of VLOOKUP, obviously. So we have a very known feature called VLOOKUP here. So maybe with the help of VLOOKUP, for each customer ID, I will have a lookup value of the opening date and closing date, and I will keep a difference. So with the help of difference, if the difference is 0, then that particular customer's loan account is opened and closed during the year. So then I will select it as a sample. Upon verification of sample, I will verify whether there is an actual cash movement in the account. If there is a actual cash movement, sir, that is one drawback, sir. One drawback is there, but but to the extent possible, this is a reliable method, sir. But that drawback is there. Practically, when that question was arise, that is a little drawback, because when we are using VLOOKUP, that drawback is there. So that is the method. So just so quickly as we are aware of to do this. Yes, sir. Right, sir. Correct, exactly. It's actually, even the data what we are now referring to is a full year data. So first what I am doing, first I am filtering only the open loans account open during the year. See, these are all the loans opened. Then similarly I will do the same activity for the, I will apply filter to the date of closing. So now I will copy all the loan accounts which are closed in a separate sheet. So first step I have segregated only gold loans out of total loans. Second step, of the total loans I have segregated only loans open during the year. That the next step is I have segregated that only total closed accounts of the total data set of jewelry loans. Now I will perform some analysis. I will perform analysis. Say what analysis? So the analysis that we have discussed earlier. So now date of closing. So for usually I look we look up to recall to look up a value of date for a given customer ID. So given customer ID is a lookup value, comma, which table I am referring to a closed accounts. So I'll select the data set, I'll freeze it, comma, what is the date from B to H? It is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 7 comma 0 approximate match. So there is no such loan account that is closed here. So I'll just drag it. So it is actually number format. Now I'll change it to a shortcut date format. So I have captured few dates. So few dates were not captured due to the reason that maybe that customer do not have a closed loan account in that year. So now instead of this, I'll calculate, I'll change the name as difference. So but to do that difference, I don't require the accounts that were not available. So now I have for each customer account, each customer ID, the loans, the date of opening a loan and the date of closing a loan is available. Now I'll find a difference between the dates. So difference between opening minus closing. I've calculated some difference was appearing, paste. So now what was the last step here? We need to trace out the value which is 0. Value 0 refers to, so number filter value equal to 0. So there are 3 loan accounts wherein a customer ID for this customer, he has opened with this loan account number on so and so date and closed on the same date. So this is a final result for me. So calculate, paste. So this is a final result and all these loan accounts will be considered as my samples. So upon verification of the actual documentation, then I will come to a conclusion whether these were restructured or actual cash flow is there into the account or not. If there is an actual cash flow, that is fine. If there is no actual cash flow, just movement between the loan accounts from that loan, new loan account new loan account to the old loan account without any gold. Even if you see the gold packets, so the seal is also dated at earlier date. So multiple methods to trace or perform our procedures to analyze whether it is a genuine repayment or created evergreening of a loan account. So this is a final output which I will consider for sampling. Now what I will do, this is for maybe 1 month or maybe one, so approximately this is something. If I want to do the same thing for next year or same thing for another branch, because I may be having multiple bank audits, so multiple branches. So if I want to do the same activity for the next branch, what I will do, I will just save this. First I will stop recording. I stopped recording. So macro would have been saved. Macro would have been saved. I will keep this sheet as it is. If you see the sheet is sheet number 13, I will keep this as it is. I will move to some other random sheet, say sheet 25, that is some other branch. So So if you see, I am having only one sheet here, one sheet with so and so name. Now I want to perform the same activity. So to explain this concept, maybe I don't have a skilled labor or skilled article to do this. So I want to automate. So I have automated it. Now just to execute it, what I will do, to go to the developer tab, then I'll run a macro. So in so and so 13, because both the sheets is open. If the sheet is closed, I would have been not able to see this. Since my 13 number sheet is also open, now it is able to access that macro in this sheet. So I'll click run. So in a click of a button, if you see all the names whatever I have kept, everything as it is, it was there, and result is there 3 accounts only, but in this branch it is more than 3. So likewise for any number of accounts, I can use the same process, thereby automating my repetitive tasks to reduce the time, even in the absence of any internet or any skilled labor, anything. So we can perform or execute this to trace a evergreening of loan account. So using Excel, even with the help of macro, only macro, not VB macro. VB macro we'll just go to a next step. So to this extent, so we have any doubts? So any doubts we can deal, or we can move forward to the next topic. So till now we have just understood initially the context and setup of our bank audit session, today's session, what we are going to cover. Then secondly, we have started with the practical conversion of unstructured or semi-structured data into a structured data, started performing analysis. In the course of performing analysis, we tried first using formulas. Formulas usually tend to forget. So to do that, maybe in the Excel itself we have a pivot feature. We can use the feature of pivot. After pivot, we try to incorporate the usage of AI here. So there are multiple methods of using AI in a given set of data for the purpose of analysis. So in the methods that are available, one directly uploading a data or integrating a AI model in the Excel can be lead to a confidentiality issues. Of course, if you are using the data with the sample data, then that is fine. By removing a important or sensitive information, by keeping only the mandatory columns, we can use AI. But even in the course of internet non-availability or the method of not able to use the AI, then we have a third method called building a tool that we will discuss now post this. So subject to that third method, after analyzing a small set of data, then we moved to automation in the Excel itself, wherein there is an inbuilt feature called macro. So macro is a broad term wherein repetition of tasks which are which we want to automate. Then there is another feature called VB macro, wherein we can, there is underlying technology so that we can, macro will only record the repetitive tasks, but it will we can customize whatever we want to do with the help of VB macro, with the help of the technology that is having by writing a code. That is the third one that we wanted to move on. So in the course of explaining VB macro, we have understood how practically we use VB macro, either by converting a multiple text documents into a one into Excel with the help of VB macro, or for the purpose of tracing evergreening where repetitive tasks are necessary, there automating with the help of macro, we have tried to understand practically. So then we wanted to now move on to a VB macro, Visual Basic for Application. So to move, before we moving that, till now whatever we have covered, any doubts we have, so please do let us know, so we can interact on those questions. Otherwise you can move on to the next topic. Can we move to the next topic? So the next topic is relevant to the previous topic of macro. So earlier only recording, but now customizing with the help of technology whatever we want. Say example, I have loan statements which are converted into Excel, loan statement of a borrower, example. So a borrower, say if I converted the text into an Excel, or wherever the Excel is received, I want to analyze monthly reports for some reason. So I have obtained monthly reports. Further, after that, I want to analyze the total yearly report, total yearly accounts transactions of a particular borrower, whereas I have received a monthly information. Now I want to consolidate all the Excel sheets in a click of a button. All the Excel sheets having monthly transactions of a single borrower. Now I want to consolidate into one single Excel wherein I can perform analysis for a whole year. So to do that, the general practice is that month on month we open each and every Excel sheet. So copy the monthly data, say first April. So after April, I will go to the next month March, next month May. So I'll copy down the April, then next month, likewise 12 months I will use to manually copy. But to automate this, just because it's just incorporating a concept of automation with VBA. So if this is a concept, then we can use this concept for any other purpose. So just for a small concept, we are just trying to, I was just trying to demonstrate. If you see the data here, so value date, just keenly understand the column headings, because whenever we are trying to automate something, the headings and the place where they were placed is important. So value date is referred as value date in the given report, then description, then debit amount, then credit amount, and then balance, not closing balance referred, actually closing balance but referred as balance. So now I want to mix or merge or consolidate all the monthly reports into one single report. To do so, I can do it manually. Second, when I do manually, if I miss something, what we usually do? Usually when we perform some activity as a part of cross verification, say in this kind of data particularly, we will be adding an extra column called check. Check if the conversion or the data pasting is done properly or not. Say now if you see here in the given data, there is a text. Actually, though it is a number, but for the purpose of Excel will understand it as a text, because DR is one of the item is included in the cell. So in the combination of the numbers and letters, it will consider this as a text. If I use formula, say opening, usually for the transaction happened in the 1st April, if I want to verify whether this balance is right or wrong, what we do, the opening balance plus the debit amount minus, since it is a loan account, minus credit amount and minus the closing balance will be resulting into 0. That is the check. But since I am getting a value error, the value error is due to the reason of this DR. If I remove this and if I just again re-enter, again there is a value error. Why? Because the credit amount referring to is a blank or some hidden item is there. So if I just click enter, now it turned into a number cell, then my final value is appeared as 0. So which means the balance is correct. Likewise, I need to verify for all the transactions. So how do I verify this? So obviously a little challenging task. Maybe again I need to bring the Excel formulas here. So maybe I need to split the data into 2 parts. So wherein I will eliminate this debit DR here, and I will eliminate this the blanks into a numerical or text column, so that I will bring a numerical figure so that my formula will work. So instead of doing all this activity for all the months in all the sheets, so I can take the help of VB macro. With the help of VB macro, I can convert. But how do I convert? What is VB macro? VB macro, it will also automate the task that we request for, but with the help of a code. For that we need to write VB code there. But are we familiar with the VB code? Obviously no, we didn't go through that. So for that reason we take the help of AI for the purpose of generating a code. Once code is generated, we will save it. Without internet we can use it. How to do that? Say first I will demonstrate the output, then we will come to know how we can use it or how we generate it. I am closing this. What I will do first, I will copy the code where I have saved. I have generated this code with the help of AI. I have copied the code that was generated by AI and I am executing in Excel. So where do I execute? Say I will go to my place of VB macro where consolidation of all the multiple sheets were there. So what I am doing, I am creating a new Excel workbook, say demo merge. Some Excel workbook I have created. I have opened the blank workbook. In this workbook, I want to merge all the data with the help of VB code. So I have generated a VB code with my requirement. That VB code which was generated by AI, I have copied. I have opened a blank Excel. So where to load the code? Where to load that code? So go to again developer tab. Go to Visual Basic. So till earlier situations we have recorded the macro and used the macro to run, but now we are moving to Visual Basic. If I click that, a new window will be opened. So in this new window, I need to load the code. So to load the code, first I need to go to the Insert tab. I need to go to Module. Upon I click a module, so a new window will be opened to load the code, whatever generated by AI. That whatever I have copied, I am pasting it blindly. I am saving it. Control S, save, then close, again close. So I have closed everything. So now I want to execute, because now my blank Excel sheet is having a VB code. So now I want to execute the VB code. How do you execute? The same button. To execute any macro which is normal macro which we have manually recorded, or a Visual Basic macro, the button to run a macro is same. So macros. So merge loan statement is what the name that AI has given to this macro. By default it has given. Now I will click run. Soon after I click run, it is asking me something. Select folder containing a loan statement. It is not asking to select a file. Select a folder where the files are containing. So I will go to that place. No, not this place. VB macro. Here in this folder I was having. Click select. Now it is asking, it has processed the data. Now it is asking me where to save the output. So I need to select some location. So in the consolidation folder itself, earlier I have created something, but now it itself has giving me some name. So but today's date and time. So click save. The data is saved. Let me check if this is working or not. The code that I have loaded is not a valid code, I think. What I will do, first I will practically now generate a code. So to generate a code, I need to convey my requirement to the AI. So as a process of conveying my requirement, it is through prompt. Just please go through the prompt that I have read, that I am going to give now. So just select, read this. It is very important. Now I will practically generate. So to the extent of selection, please read this. What I have written. So I need to merge all my loan statement Excel files. They all have identical column headers having value date, description, debit amount, credit amount and balance. So merge all the loan Excel files into one single file. Now could you give me a VBA code that let me pick the source folder and choose where to save the output. Please sort everything chronologically by date column based on the month. Remove any rows, any blank rows. Format all the numeric columns as a whole numbers, no decimals, and keep 0 if no value in the debit amount and credit amount columns. In the balance column, if amount is having DR, treat as a positive, and if CR, treat as a negative number to make the column a numeric without decimals. Add a check column after balance to verify balances where each row's prior balance derived as a current row's opening balance and the derived opening balance plus debit amount minus credit amount minus the balance with formula be resulted in the column check, and flag any issues and ensure the final file is clean and accurate. Any questions, let me know. This is what a detailed prompt that I was trying to generate. So in the earlier chart, I'll try to paste the code. I'll try generating a fresh code because the earlier code whatever I saved is not a final code, I believe. That's why that didn't work. The AI is generating now. Now if you see, no clarification needed, the requirements are well specified. Here is a complete VB code. So it has written some code, still writing. Once completed, we'll try to copy it. And always remember, at one go the code may not work, it might have some problems. So again we need to specify the issue to the same chart so that it will rectify the issue and give a revised code. So 1-2 instances we need to work on that, but once that is done, that is permanent. And always what we used to remember is that when we are using AI, patience is always a key. So we should be little more patient than usual. So because to have a final benefit or output of a AI usage, little patience has to be required, because since it is a beginning stage, so creating new things will require some time. So I copied the code. The code that I have copied, what I am doing straight away, in the earlier demo merge file, I am loading here itself. Go to automate, go to developer, go to Visual Basic, insert module, whatever the code that was provided by AI, I have copied there, I am pasting here. I am saving it, save, close. Now I have loaded. I'll try to click run the macro. So merge loan statements, run. Select folder containing a loan statement Excel files. It is asking me to choose. Okay, earlier in consolidation there is another folder. So whatever I have selected itself is wrong. Since my input is wrong, the output is wrong. So fine. Now I have selected a loan statement. Click OK. It is asking me to where to save. Under consolidation itself, I will try to save it. I will try to save this. Let me check if this works, because live I have generated the code with the help of AI. It has did something. Let me check if it is working or not. If not, we will go to the previous code. We will copy that, select a proper input so that we will get a proper output. So since it is reading all the 12 months files, so it is taking little time to process the data according to our requirement. So just to reiterate what this Visual Basic for application tool which is inbuilt in the Excel will do is that with the help of a code that we generate, we can automate a few tasks according to our requirements, according to our specifications in the Excel itself. And once that is developed, if the code is working, we can use it multiple times without the help of an internet. So now, as a part of demonstrating that, we are trying to merge or consolidate multiple files by adding special features to validate a check column 2, specifying that the data filtering, everything we have specified within the code itself. So it has generated a code. Now we are executing the code with the help of AI that is generated. That code we are loading into the Excel. So after loading, we are trying to verify if it is working or not. Yes sir, we can specify to the prompt. So according to the specification, it will provide a result, but result may not be straight away be provided. If it is provided, that's lucky, but otherwise we need to work for 2-3 iterations to generate a proper code. Usually it will not take much time, but since this is being demonstrated, so it's actually so like how the Claude integrated with the Excel is not supporting, so even this is also actually there is an error. So it has merged, it has given something, but it is not proper. If you see my check column, so it do not contain anything. It has given something, but something the code while generating it did not work. But actually, I'll just run the proper code for you. Data. Again, go into developer mode, run. It is asking to select a folder. So now consciously I was selecting not consolidation, loan saved. Let me check, there is no folder. Okay, I'm selecting actual folder having the files. Click OK. So the file, I'll say it as v2. In consolidation it is being saved. Let's check if this is working now. Yes, so done. So 1521 data rows merged, file saved at so and so location with so and so name. Rows highlighting in red have balance discrepancy, because since in the prompt I have requested for that any variations kindly flag the variations, so that is why it is indicating that any rows highlighted in the red have discrepancies. So let us check. So let us move this. So now you see with the neat colors it has given the output. And let me check, because since I have asked in the prompt about, if you see here with formula, so whatever the check column that we are referring to, that if we don't specify give me the result having a formula, it will not give with formula. So since I have asked it, so if you see here it has given a formula 2. So if we don't specify our requirement, it will simply give the result. So since we have specifically requested to insert a formula there in the column, it has inserted and I can validate it. And if you see here my dr, whatever the text is eliminated, my blanks which is not supporting earlier as a number is now converted into 0 if it is a blank, and every number is turned into a whole number without any decimals. So whatever I specified according to my requirement, that requirement has been satisfied by the this little automation one. And if you see chronologically, I asked it to arrange chronologically. If I don't say arrange chronologically, what happens if I go to my loan data? If first month is April, second month is August, the after April it will consider August only. It will not consider May automatically, because the next file is August due to a name sorting. Now I asked it finally to flag any variations. So that's why accordingly, after apart from 0 there are few variances, that there is small difference of rupees 1 and there are these kind of differences. So I need to check whether there is any mismatch between the data that I have received. Accordingly I can start validation or perform analysis. So in that way I can use this VB macro for the purpose of specific requirements in the process of automation of multiple data into a single data. This is one small concept of automating using VB. Likewise, if you use VB macro, there are multiple things we can do. This is a sample for the purpose of understanding. And if you see the process, for the process of conversion of multiple statements into a single combined file, so conversion of so and so with the help of VBA is the requirement. So VBA code will be generated from the generative AI or AI models. So the prompt, this we have read. So then after that, what we need to do, we need to copy the VBA code in Excel. So I was just referring to so and so. Then go to the developer tab, press Alt F11 is a shortcut, or I can go to a developer tab, or Alt F11 is a shortcut. Then go to insert module. Under insert in VBA application, I will go to module. There I will paste the VBA code. So then this I can do or I cannot. If I save it as a macro, XLSM means M is a macro file. If I don't save it as a macro, also still it's working now. Earlier it used to not to work if I don't save the file as XLSM. Then run the VB code under developer tab, or I can use Alt F8 as a shortcut button for the purpose of running a macro that is saved. So likewise, a process is written so that for future references we can use the same to build some macros. So this is a small introduction of VB macro apart from a normal macro which is there inbuilt in the Excel. But in case of VB macro, we need to write a code. Since you are not familiar with the code, we have generated it with the help of AI. So any questions, please let us know, sir. So now we will go into a little third method of using AI, wherein we can build a small tool. So that tool, respect of internet, respect of confidentiality issues, we can use it. The tool maybe you would have been already familiar about. It may be with the help of Python we can generate with, it may be with the help of VB macro also, because even this method, whatever we have used, is a method 3, wherein with the help of AI, I have generated a code. That code, even without internet, without confidentiality of any of my data, so I can use it anywhere, anytime to automate my task. So this is VB macro is one of the method, using Python is one of the method. So then using HTML tool, HTML actually works based on a JavaScript. So JavaScript, here VB script, Python script, there are multiple scripts, means script is nothing but a programming language which we are not at all familiar with. So but we can generate those codes. Why we need to generate means, just we will see the benefits now. So why we need to generate, I will just have a sample demo. Because when we started this session, we have started about understanding the process of audit. In that process, execution is the first method of the second and important method for the purpose of documentation or analysis. That is a base for drawing opinion. In the process of execution, the first step is materiality. So usually how do we perform the materiality? So how do we perform the materiality? Of course, there is a Excel utility that was provided by ICAI Center for Audit Quality. So there is a materiality tool that was provided. So with that materiality tool, what they have, usually when we say materiality, how do we do this materiality? Say when I say materiality, first I need to define a benchmark, point 1. So on that benchmark, I need to apply some percentage. Usually that percentage is derived based on the risk assessment. So after risk assessment, based on whether high risk or low risk or medium risk, I will derive a percentage. That percentage is applied on the benchmark. On that benchmark, if I apply the percentage, I will be getting overall materiality or performance materiality or trivial materiality. Overall materiality is the total overall materiality which can impact my opinion. So then performance materiality is materiality lower than a performance materiality. Then trivial materiality is a materiality that I can ignore those errors which are less than that materiality. So simply if I want to use the materiality tool in Excel given by our ICAI Center for Audit Quality. So this is the basic details that we need to fill in. Then usually in the case of other audits, setting a benchmark can be a different scenario based on manufacturing or trading company, whether it is a profit oriented or revenue generation company. So likewise, depending on the industry, we will select multiple benchmarks, maybe it asset, maybe it liability, maybe plant and machinery, maybe asset, maybe revenue, maybe profit. That there can be multiple benchmarks, but since it is a bank audit, the one and sole single benchmark can be advances, because one advance that we have given to one single borrower, which triggers the materiality level, so my opinion will be tampered. So that is why the advances itself is a critical, so that is the single benchmark that we can consider. So benchmark selection is not a big deal in the bank audit, but what rate we apply, what percentage we apply on the advances total to derive a materiality amount. So whether it is an overall materiality, whether it is a performance materiality, whether it is a trivial materiality. Once overall materiality is derived, based on overall materiality, we arrive at performance and trivial materiality. So but how do we derive the percentage? Based on the risk assessment. So our ICI has as a process, they have given 27 factors that we need to look into to assess the risk. So likewise, say whether it is a new engagement, so we need to give the level of risk, whether it is a high risk, a low risk or medium risk. Even in the risk, I need to select weight, because weighment is a critical factor to derive a whether it is overall medium risk, overall low risk or overall high risk. So here also there is a drop down, or I can simply, in the actual utility you cannot find the formulas, but we can crack that Excel utility they have given. We can unhide what they have done at backend. So if you see here, this is how the weighment is done in case of not applicable. If that factor is not applicable for the purpose of our risk assessment, we can keep not applicable where the weight is 0. If the risk factor is high as per our judgment, then we need to categorize under 8 to 10. If it is low, 1 to 3, then if it is medium, 4 to 7 is the range they have defined in the Excel. So for each risk factor, I need to select the risk level. Under each risk level, I need to select the weight. So based on the weight, if you see here, there is a formula given there. So based on that, my risk level, whether it is medium, low or high, is derived. How this is done? There is a range. If my weighment percentage, overall percentage 68%, if my overall percentage is 0 to 15, consider it as a low risk suggested by ICI. So then if the overall risk is between this percentage to 75, then medium, more than 75, considered as a high risk. So in my case, after assessing all the factors, so based on my professional judgment, say assume if it is 68%, it has come up to a medium risk. So in case of a medium risk, so on the benchmark, so this is the percentage. This was also suggested by ICI, but however, in a few cases or majority of the cases, the central statutory auditor will send a separate instruction that please consider these percentages as a materiality percentages that you need to apply on the benchmark. So if they don't suggest, you can consider this. If they suggest, you can follow that percentage. So in our case, since it is medium, 0.5 to 0.75% can be considered as a materiality, on which that maybe 0.5 to 0.75, a medium percentage is derived. On that I have applied the percentage on the advances. Accordingly, I have derived the overall materiality. So accordingly, based on overall materiality, I will select performance materiality and I will arrive at a trivial materiality. So any amount less than 5 lakhs, I need not bother. Any amount is reaching to 89 lakhs, then I need to consider the uncorrected or undeducted misstatements may exceed materiality. So that concept I like apply, and overall materiality is 1.5 crores is what it derived. So based on that, I will evaluate a materiality misstatement under 450. So this is how the Excel utility is there. But what if first, for a silly thing I am creating a tool, for a silly thing, say which silly thing means, say I have Excel which is ready-made tool. Maybe if I enter numbers there, and if I select a risk assessment and if I give a weighment factor, automatically I am getting a output. Now this is a overall materiality, this is a performance materiality, this is a trivial materiality. But just to understand how large we can take, or how large extent we can take this utility or the tool that we are going to create for a simple thing, how you can apply it for a complex thing. So that understanding will derive from this demonstration. Now the same activity, say I have built a tool. So example, say this is a tool. So bank branch audit materiality determination. It has few tabs where inputs are there, risk model is there, materiality is there, SA 450 is there, summary of output, and my guidance is also there here at one place. So what I need to do, first I need to give a basic details. So where, say this is a statutory branch audit at a material at planning or material at final stage. At a planning stage, I can select a date, I can select an year. So for time being, say year, I can write who has prepared, reviewed everything. So then I can give each type of loan wise amount, or straight away I can say example. So 270 crores. Example, if the total advances are 270, straight away I have given 270. So there are other benchmarks also, but for timing, since that is not relevant, I was not giving any amount there. Now what I will do, so proceed for risk model. So I have considered advances as a benchmark. Now I am proceeding for a risk model, wherein for sample, if you see earlier, risk not assessed for time being. What I am doing for new engagement, yes, high risk, because I don't know about the branch. Since I said high risk, straight away my dashboard has been updated. By default it is given 9, say I can say 8 if for timing. Say another one, say I will keep it as medium, let it be 6. So for another one, say let it be low. Randomly I was just typing. So if I just fill all the risk factors automatically, irrespective of a formula, because I again need not validate a formula, because point 1, I cannot straight away view the formula in the Excel utility that was provided by ICI. Even if I crack it, again I need to validate the formula if it is right or not. But this tool will have inbuilt formula, automatically will provide as a dashboard whether the overall risk is a medium or high. Say again, if I select anything high, so automatically say if it is high, likewise if I select anything, it will automatically change my criteria. One second. So 270 crores, proceed for risk model, I will consider it as 10. Controls, backup. Say if this is the thing, then if I want to proceed for materiality, if you see here, so based on the risk assessment, automatically the suggested materiality was provided. So on the face itself, I was able to view what was the total planning materiality or overall materiality, performance materiality, and trivial materiality. If I want to change the percentage, say 0.55 to say 0.6 example, so automatically that will be changed. If it is from 70 to 60 to 70, automatically that will be changed. From 3.5 to 4, if I change, automatically my overall materiality limits will be changed. And if you see here, there is specific transaction materiality is one of the other concept apart from the 3 materialities, and there is a matrix also provided. What if it is a high risk? My high risk, actually something went wrong here. So at a medium level it is 1.62, at a high level it will be more, actually it is actually less, is correct only. High risk means low materiality. So medium risk, then low risk means if it is a low risk, it would have been 2.29 crores as a overall materiality. Likewise, at one glance I can see all the permutations in a given scenario. And finally I can go to my evaluation sheet of 450, wherein if I write, say some under provisioning example, if that is the situation, and if I enter an amount, say 1.7 crores, so automatically my overall output, the total uncut misstatements is so and so, which is exceeding so and so. Accordingly, consider the modifying your audit opinion. Likewise, my utility is interactive, is automatically updating real time. Then if I see the summary of output, I will get the summary of output. If I can save in PDF, I can save the same in Excel. I can export the total working into my Excel sheet, and I can save. Any guidance I require, I can refer this. So a small, even for a small thing, we can build a tool. Of course, not required, But why this is required? That if I use something for a small activities, I'll be able to apply I'll able to analyze how I can use a tool, or how I can build a tool for a large complex activity. Say example, for the purpose of analyzing a CC loan accounts. So to analyze a CC loan accounts, so analyzing a stock statement, analyzing DP calculations, analyzing a loan borrower's account, analyzing related party transactions, all those things will require much time, a little complex. There also we can use this tool. So to build such kind of tool at a complex level, first we should be aware of building a tool at a lower level. So even for a small materiality also, we can use Excel, we can use AI. Why AI means it is little more interactive, so little more productive in using or understanding the tool. But how this is generated? It is actually, that is also very simple, because since we are not much familiar in coding either HTML script or the JavaScript, so we take the help of AI. How that is done, I'll just performing it in a real time, considering the time limit may not be viable, but what I will do, whatever I have prepared, that I will show you what chart that is done. And in case of this thing, just understand, any AI model will have a feature called projects. Will have a feature called projects, wherein I can create a project, say example bank audit 2026 or bank branch audit. So a bank branch audit, I can create a project wherein I can load files. Here I have loaded the bank audit guidance note, term loan analysis, something, whatever the files I require, I have loaded everything what I require in a project. So now if I try to provide my requirement, my output will be accurate and concise, specific to the project files, whatever I uploaded. It will not provide any hallucinated results. So that is why, say if I see materiality, so under that project I have created the materiality tool. So how that materiality is created? A very simple one, because in the project files I have loaded my ICI utility tool. So I have loaded a sample tool. So what I have asked it is, I want to automate a materiality sheet. First help me how to automate materiality in Excel. Then explain me to build a tool on the same. Refer ICI materiality on the bank audit is what first. It has given something. It has given something which I actually don't require, because it will not fulfill my things. The second one is why? Because it has given some output, right? That output will obviously don't work at a first instance. There will be some mistakes, it will not work properly. So what I need to do, I again need to ask it to redesign the total tool, where say if I see this tool, as shown earlier, there are different tabs, input tab, risk model tab, there are some mistakes. So what I have informed to that is, in the inputs sheet, engagement details, keep them blank with watermark. It has given default some information, so please give some default. In financial data, benchmark inputs, keep it blank. It has automatically taken the information from the sheet that I have given, so I have asked it to keep it blank. Benchmark, remove so and so percentage. In risk model, underscore, allow dependent drop down per the risk assessment factor. For not applicable, keep 0, high risk keep 8 to 10, likewise I have given. In materiality, allow to modify the range. Then under matrix, so give so and so. AI prompt, so remove AI prompt. It has given initially some prompt, like say summary AI prompts, what prompts it has used, it has given. So I don't want all those prompts. Output, provide a button to export the workings in Excel similar to ICI utility. So likewise, whatever the requirement upon analyzing the initial output, so I have analyzed, and I have asked it to redesign the total tool it has initially generated. So it has given again some tool. So again I found some mistakes, I have asked it to redesign. So then finally after 3 iterations maybe, so a console, some error has appeared, I have given that error, asked it to resolve it. Then now the working paper is according to my expectation. So now expectation was met. Whatever the result it is providing is according to my requirement, but I have asked it to change the colors. No, initially I was giving green, I don't like the green, blue, so change the color to so and so. So then color requirement, that I have done it. So that this was the final output which I decided. So likewise 3 iterations it I have taken. So first output is derived provided by AI. I will analyze the output, I will validate the output whether it is according to my standards. So if not, I will ask it to redesign. After redesign, I have done nothing, I have given prompt, it is automatically given the tool. So what I have done, just download it, click a download button, that's it. If I download it, it will save like this, so on so name.html. If I just double click that, automatically it will open. So nothing to do, nothing to save like VB macro, everything. By default, the downloaded one, if I open in the browser, it will open. But now this is permanent. So the third method of using AI, whatever I have referred, the first two methods, there is confidentiality of the data. But in this method, the tool, even without internet, if you see where the file is located is in my local drive itself. So whatever the activity I do, it will not go beyond my path. It will be there in my path, and internet is not at all required even here. Similar to VB code, even in HTML or any Python, a tool if I develop with the help of AI, I don't require again internet. Without internet, for the same activity, I can perform the work whatever I have desired for. So this is a third method of using AI. So wherein I can automate my work with the help of AI. So this is one method, a simple one, which I already have an alternative readily available with me. So actually I don't require, but why I have demonstrated, taken 10-15 minutes time is to explain you that whatever we already have, if you perform something, if you try something on that, we will be able to know, okay, this is how the AI is working, this is how the AI is thinking. So this is how I was not properly, because if you see my initial prompt, I did not provide anything according to my expectation. I just blatantly asked to give something, it has given something, but later specifically I was able to provide what I actually require. So then it is actually working according to my requirement. So always the output of AI will not be not straight away inappropriate. It is our miscommunication or improper communication to AI that we have so much thing in our mind, but we only, maybe due to multiple factors, so we actually convey only few things. So whatever you have in your mind, that you have to convey fully and properly. So only then the output is actually according to our expectation or requirement. So that is one small aspect. Now, but now, okay, this is for materiality. Okay, even if I don't work on this, I have Excel, that is fine. But what for other scenarios? So other scenarios were the complex scenarios. What were the complex scenarios in performing this bank audit? One, analyzing a CC account. Because CC account, if I want to analyze, I need to analyze multiple files. What are the multiple files? Say CC account statement, then who are all the related parties, their related parties personal loan accounts in that bank. 2, 3, the stock statements. 4, I need to verify the GST returns, income tax returns. And in the stock statement specifically, I need to go to the listing of the debtors, listing of the creditors, then I need to go to the inventory details, aging details, then I need to go to the projections that they have given for, then I need to verify the quarterly performance reports. Likewise, apart from stock statement, quarterly performance reports will be there. The data as per stock statement and the data as per the QPR should actually be equal, but there will be difference. So likewise, multiple reports I need to verify. I need to flag the related party transactions. I need to flag further. I also need to perform some ratio analysis on the stock statement. So what is the debtor date? What is the inventory days? What is the creditor days? So whether the days that were the average days were within the operating cycle of a respective manufacturer or a borrower. So likewise, I need to perform multiple analysis. So can we automate this? Of course, yes, but automation in two situations. I'll first take you to that, then I'll because it should not be theoretical to make it understand. Let us take practically to understand this. First, I have created some PPT. So the PPT is speaking that because just to ensure that I did not miss something that I need to demonstrate, I am just referring to this. So it is speaking that why we perform analysis is to comply to all those standards, standard of reporting, standards on quality control, standards on engagement letters, standards on planning, materiality, IFC review, internal controls, valuation, and communication with those charged with governance. So we require analytics. Then sourcing of data, we have spoken about sourcing of data, multiple sources. So conversion of files, sort, filter, conditional formatting, everything. Then CBS reports is one of the source. Multiple other reports that we receive during the course of an audit. So then I am coming to the CCO accounts, I will demonstrate. Then term loan accounts I will demonstrate. Then data analysis. So data analysis we have discussed it. So the remaining part we will go later. Coming to the CCOD analysis, means drawing power, nothing but a drawing power analysis. I have prepared two different tools. First, this one. Actually, even for this also there was some process. So process of creating, because if I want to generate something, first I should be having a clarity of what I need to do. What was the process that I usually follow in Excel or manually what I do. So wherever possible I will, if I say prompt, I am bringing AI there. So here first converting a stock statement into a summary, because stock statements will have multiple details. So usually what details we have, sir? We have sales details, we have receivables details, we have creditor details, then outstanding details, then opening stock details, closing stock details likewise. So we have multiple important details in each monthly or quarterly stock statements. Say usually stock statements are monthly. Monthly stock statements are mandatory. Of course, one of the observation is that the sanction letter says that CA should be certified by an independent chartered accountant or relevant, but they don't provide stock statement which is signed by a chartered accountant. From there it begins with. But even if you see the format also, what was the format of stock statement that was suggested by the bank in their website? If you see that format, and if the format that this fellow will submit, the borrower will submit, quite contrast, but the bank manager will accept it. Of course, the submission of bank statement will be long time. If they have to suppose to provide in the within 5 days of the next month as per the terms of sanction letter, so he will provide after 2 months, 3 months. So depends. So all those will form part of observations, fine. But coming to the analytics perspective, so those are manual verification which we cannot do anything with the help of AI. So it is we manually we can figure it out. Where the numbers are involved, there we take the help of Excel or AI. So here in the process of automation, what actually we do with the help of Excel, say just I'll show what we do manually. Say this is a stock statement analysis. There is a company, so the borrower, maybe they have, that is the first year of sanctioning. So only this is the summary, the debtors data. So here whatever colors were applied, that we have worked out. So the total closing, revised closing, remarks, because even if you see the stock statement that they produce, it is actually having not all mandatory details, just they will put small details of only debtor aging, creditors normal creditor listing, then inventory aging, that's it. Remaining sales data they don't provide, production data they don't provide. So all important mandatory fields will not be available. Only data relating to calculation of DP will itself will be visible there. So sometimes even that data of creditors or debtors will also not be available. Even if amount is available, listing of debtors or listing of inventory or listing of creditors is not available. So multiple observations. So whatever the margin according to the sanction letter to be applied, that applied. So accordingly finding a ratios. What was the deriving few figures, after deriving few figures arriving a debtor days, stock days, creditor days, operating days, thereby providing a analysis. So much of analysis we can draw from the verification. We have prepared it, sir, because usually they only provide a stock statement, physical stock statement. Based on that, we manually sit prepare a table, or in this template we manually enter the figures. So formulas will all automatically be there. Say margin, there is some formula, debtor days, for some small formulas were there to calculate a ratios. So so that ratio analysis is one aspect. This is summary of their data what they have given, and these were the observations. So related party transaction from loan funds. These amounts are drawn from current account. The source is from term loan account. So drawing and the source. Then all loan processing charges from the loan funds transferred to the term loan. So they are having multiple term loans and current account in the same bank. So routing of transactions as and when required they are doing. Then cash withdrawn from the current account. Source of the funds is transferred from the term loan account. Then instance of check bouncing. So then final observations what we wanted to report has been summarized here. Then related party transactions. So what we perform in the related party transactions, total withdrawals. Usually withdrawal from the CC account should be for the purpose of payment to a creditors or purchase of an inventory generally. And collections, receipts should always be receipts from the or collection from the debtors. So only those should be the debit or credit in a CC account. But when we analyze the debit and credit, when we compare the total collections, say what we usually compare in a CC account, the total collections in a month when compared with the total sales report in the GST, or that when compared with the stock statement debtors. How do we derive a collection from the stock statement? So earlier closing debtor plus sales minus closing debtors will give the total collection as per derived collection as per the stock statement. So sales as per GST returns. Then collections, actual collections into the CCE account or in the bank statement. So if you see combine all the three will be different and the variation is huge. So but as a part of review by a bank manager, is it not his duty for a material borrower? So but they don't perform this. So that is one of the part of our observations. Even in case of payment, so what was the total payment, derived payment based on the stock statements, based on previous closing creditors and purchases and the current closing creditors, derived creditor actual payments and the payments or withdrawals as per the bank statement. If you compare all these things, again that will not match. So and variation will be huge. So to perform that analysis, so sanction condition is that the loan funds to be used for a CC is not complied. Mortgage of the loans. Sanction condition that loan funds disbursed directly to the party approved by vendor is not complied. Sanction condition that a partner contribution is not complied. So then debtor collections considering the amount of sales indicates stress in the business. Then sanction condition that cash should not be withdrawn is not complied. Interest and EMI served from the loan funds, not from the business operations. Then interest and EMI, the same one. Sanction condition to provide original bills under utilization of term loan and project capex, indicating diversion of funds. Likewise, multiple analytical points out of a loan analysis. So this is each marking of what was the transaction, the different loan accounts. Compilation of all these things formed as an observation. Likewise, upon analyzing a stock statement, analyzing a loan statement, so both combined analysis is formed. Based on that, we can consider whether actually the asset advance is a performing or not performing, or pretended that it is a performing asset. So likewise, we can raise the point and consider it for MOC. Fine, this is actually a manual process, but what if we can automate? So since this is for the purpose of demonstration, to the extent possible, we can I try to automate it. First I'll try to demonstrate my this one. Say this is a starting utility. How this is prepared, or before I use this, what I'll do, how this utility is created, I'll let you know. Because in the initial stage of AI, maybe last year or the before year, is the first year where we can use AI models. So in that process, how we have done with the help of AI, then understanding the confidentiality issues, how a tool is built up. So that we'll try to know. So with the help of Excel, we know how to perform analysis with the help of formulas. So from Excel, with the help of AI, how we can extract the information as required. So, but considering sensitivity of the information, how we can build a tool so that the same thing can be done with the help of a tool. We'll try to demonstrate. So instead of now going to this, again I'll go to the projects. The projects that I have created under bank branch audit. So there, for the purpose of creating a DP analysis, I have performed something. First I'll just quickly take you through that. So it's easy to understand, because nothing great, because when we see a tool doing something, we treat it as a magic show, but it is actually nothing. So whoever did this tool, maybe myself or anybody, this is not at all a big task, a very easy thing, but only point is having time and patience. So patience is one of the key factor, and investment of little time for the purpose of automation is important. So here if I take you to this first prompt that I have given to AI for the purpose of building tool, because in case of building a tool, chain of thoughts is one of the concept in AI, wherein straight away if I give all my requirements, it will not work. So one by one, my requirement has to be communicated. So my first requirement that I have tried to communicate here is attached are the stock statements in PDF, and I have ensured, because if I need to build a tool, I need to throw some sample data. So for that purpose, I have converted actual data into some sample data, so that my confidentiality issue is not affected, because once a tool is built, I can use the actual data there. So here, to build a tool, I am throwing to AI a sample data which is inaccurate in terms of the figures, but not with the in terms of the columns or the headers that I will be using it. Attached are the stock statements in PDF. Please read all of them and reply just yes. So because sometimes a PDF, if I upload to AI, it will not be able to read it. So I just want to understand whether you are able to read the content. So it said yes, because if I don't say reply just yes, means it will give so much thing, extra irrelevant content consuming my tokens. So that is why just yes. So it said yes. Okay. Now what I am asking, provide me the following information in a tabular form, the above shared documents. So for the following items, for all the months that I have uploaded, give me a tabular form, and output should be able to directly copy into Excel. If I don't say this statement, it will give in a format that I cannot be able to readily copy and paste. Again, I need to text to column filter feature there in Excel to convert this into proper tables. So since I have specifically asked to get the output that I can directly copy, so that is why I can just click copy and paste in the Excel. So in the format I have requested for each month, so April, May, June, July, so it has given all the columns that I have requested, it has extracted the data. So first step is completed. So first what I have done, I have just converted all the stock statements which are in PDF that I have scanned into a summary statement with the important fields that I can perform further analysis. So that activity is done. So step 1 is done. Step 2, the analysis of stock statement is step 1. Analysis of loan statement is the second step. This we have already done. Earlier VB macro we have seen, right? That VB macro is the same thing. So I want to merge a loan statement. Loan statement is having 12 months. I need to consolidate and validate whether the data that I have received is correct or not. So with the help of VB macro at a back end, it has actually provided that. So it has given the same code, but if you see here at first instance, I don't see. Okay, it has given me a output, and if you see here, for I have worked 6 times to get a better output. I have worked on this VB macro 6 times. The earlier output, whatever we have seen, is after 6th attempt. So for the first time, it did not give the output according to my requirement. In 6th attempt, it has given me, that I have kept and retained for the purpose of demonstration. So then the third step, the actual continuation to the second step itself, the loan statement. From the loan statement, I am asking it to prepare a summary, because I have an Excel. Of course, I may not be having a time to make a pivot or use formulas to draw monthly maximum balance, minimum balance, etc., or outstanding balance of each month, or maximum outstanding balance for each month. So I may not be having much time or much time to think with the even with the help of Excel or even with the help of pivot. So for that, what I am doing, give me a summary statement, whatever the total 12 months consolidated statement is there. Here why I have kept PDF is that PDF will actually consume low tokens. If it is Excel, it will take more tokens. If it is a, since in my case it is a paid version, that is not a problem, but even otherwise if I use PDF, so I can have more tokens with me for next prompts. So I have asked it to provide me a maximum balance outstanding in each month along with closing balance at the end of each month. So from each month, based on the total 12 months consolidated loan statement, it has summarized maximum balance outstanding, the date. I did not ask it, but it has given it. So then the maximum balance, closing balance outstanding, it has given the columns and some amount it has given. So now after this, please analyze the loan sanction letter. Now what I have done, I have given loan sanction terms, because loan sanction terms is one of the important aspect for the purpose of analysis. So analyze the loan sanction letter and let me know the drawing power and sanction limits and other related information. So I have given it. It has given. Actually, initially it was not able to read the total PDF due to some reason. So that is why the important extracts, I have attached the relevant screenshot of loan sanction letter. Now please analyze the loan sanction letter and let me know the drawing power sanction limit. Initially it did not do well, because if you see, PDF appears uploaded, but content isn't rendering my content window. So though it is a PDF, it was not able to read. In the first example, first prompt I told you that it may not read the total PDF. So that is the reason why, since it is not able to read the total one, so I have specifically given the screenshots and asked it to analyze the terms of the sanction letter. It is able to read now, and it has given me. Now I have started analysis. Till now, just background. So summary of stock statement, summary of loan statement. Only 2 activities I have done. After that, I have asked it to understand the loan sanction terms. Third step. Finally, now I was looking into the analysis part. So what I was trying to convey. Analyze a monthly stock statement, summary, the first step. Then maximum loan balance outstanding provided by you in the above. So the second step. Further, as per the sanction limit, based on third step, please calculate drawing power. So I was asking you to calculate drawing power as per the terms. Now expand the table. So expand the table. Which table? The stock statement and loan statement is there, that combined table. I was asking to expand for the following columns. Column 1, DP, that it has calculated, collections, then cost of goods sold, then debtor days, then cash operating cycle days, and let me know what formulas you have used to calculate a DEF. D means CD, debtor days, creditor days, and cash operating days. After I forgot to give inventory days, but okay. So after expanding, please give further analysis is what I have mentioned it. Okay, it has given. It has expanded the table that for each month, what is the DP, what is the collection, what is the debtor days, creditor days, and cash operating days. It has given. It has explained what formulas it has used and has given some explanation. Fine, but I am not concerned with the output. So it has given something. Now later, as a final step, for the purpose of demonstration, as a final step, what I have done, so I have given the names of related parties, the sample names, created names. So above are the list of related parties. From the attached loan statement PDF, can you find related party transactions? So it has said yes, I can find out. These are all the related party transactions, etc., etc. It has given some Excel list of all the transactions. Again, inadvertently I have given the same prompt, so just ignore. Now finally, provide the final analysis on compilation of all the observations. Now I am asking you to give total analysis of all the multiple informations of stock statement, loan sanction letter, expanded ratio analysis, and related party transaction analysis. So for all the 5 analysis, give me a total overall observations. I have asked it. So that I can save it as consider for my working paper. I have given it. So what it has done? It has done something. It has given a neat and very well drafted working paper with so much good colors, because nowadays Claude or ChatGPT is giving so much colorful outputs. So it has given its own output so that I can consider this as my working paper. So it has given it, but I am not considered it, because for every, this is what I am doing it for one CC loan sample, but as a part of sample selection I will be doing this for almost 12, 20 depending on the size of the loan samples. So now what I am doing, since if you see this prompt, now I want to perform the same activity for all the CC accounts in a bank branch in the same methodology. In this regard, if I extend the prompts, because it will be a boring, that is why I cut it off, because if I want to build it, so consider GST return data, income tax return data, quarterly performance report data, projections data. I can add multiple layers there. So again, I can consider all those things and ask you to build a combined tool there, but for the purpose of simplicity, I stopped there. Now, based on all the 5 steps, I want to perform the same activity in the same methodology. In this regard, can you help me to build a comprehensive offline HTML tool to perform all the above activities? Like, again I reiterated, conversion of stock statement, then loan statement, extracting the data, then combining all the data, then performing analysis, expanded table, loan statement, RPT analysis, final analysis, working paper ready to output for documentation. All this I have communicated, again I have given it. So any questions I ask you to let me know. So it has started to give me a tool. So it has given some tool for me. However, it has asked further questions also. So it has asked to how we will use it, how you will handle the data, how will you give the information, all these things it has given. So it has, whatever the output I was received required some alteration. So I have done some alterations and finally I have removed all these things. So finally I have got an output. So whatever the output that you are able to see here is just a consolidation of all chain of thoughts. Individually, point by point I have given to AI, and finally considering all those points give me a offline tool that I can use it for all the remaining accounts in the same methodology. So it has given this output. I have validated for according to my requirement. Once I satisfied, so that output as a final output I have saved it for my working paper. So now what I will do, so the same activity what I have done within AI model, now without AI model, without internet, without compromising to my confidentiality issues, I am using in my system by automating the task that I intended to perform. So how I am doing this? So whatever the small information I am not doing this. If you see, actually I'll explain you this later. First I am adding my borrower, because I may be having 10 samples. For simplicity I was adding one borrower. So important information, say borrower ABCD Limited, CC account number, say 1 to some number randomly, say sanction limit 100 lakhs by default I have written. So say margin 2020, so debtor aging 90 days, say interest rate some 11%. It is asking to give the names of directors, because for the purpose of related party transactions it will be helpful, and each name should be separated by a comma. So what I will do in the process that I have written earlier, these are all the list of related party transactions, so related party names. So I was copying it under directors. The same names I am copying under related parties also. If I want to give any name also I can give it. So and rest all I don't require, I am adding it. So now I have added a borrower, and if you see here, the status is partial because I have not yet performed anything for the said borrower. So okay, now without internet, without compromising to the data, how I am automating my CC analysis is what I am trying to demonstrate. So stock statement. So stock statement, first step is stock statement conversion into a summary data, right? So that I have selected. Here two things. If I am having a monthly summary data with me, I can upload that with the help of Excel or CSV format, or I can upload a PDF and I can link this to AI. Here two things. If I am uploading PDFs, a HTML tool will not extract data from the PDF because it is not having a capability of OCR extraction. So, but HTML can do that. How it can do that? In the setup, if you see hybrid mode, actually the tool is of hybrid mode, wherein I can link if I am using any model, whatever model, AI model I am using, with the help of API code I can link it. It is little complex because I need to go to little settings there and to generate API key, that API key I need to add here, made some modifications, then I can integrate AI with it. But the purpose is to have a sensitivity of the data. I am not, once I link to AI, it is confidentiality issue, that's it. So that is why I am not linking with API key, but the tool can perform extraction of data if it is linked to API. That feature is there, just I am making you aware of that. So now what I am doing, say for this purpose, the summary data, for the purpose of analysis, say I have made my article to do all these things in the same format for each month. I have prepared, assume. So that Excel I am uploading it, whatever the summary of stock statements that were prepared manually in a template that I have loaded. So automatically all the data that was entered in the Excel is now loaded here. So point 1, once this is loaded, save and view DP analysis is the next part. So why we are converting a monthly stock statement into a summary data? What was the purpose? To perform analysis, not to see the data. For the given data, we need to perform analysis. What analysis? Ratio analysis. What ratio? Maybe debtor days, creditor days, inventory days, or cash operating cycle days, or say cost of consumption. Likewise, whatever we intend to perform, we need to perform. For that, we have summarized the data in Excel. With the help of formulas we can do, but with this click DP analysis, of course this magic is not relevant. It has given it without, because I did not ask it for any graphical charts, anything, but out of hallucination it has given. But if you see, this is the expanded table. So monthly DP table. So what it has done, so for each and every month, the closing stock, receivables, creditors, net debtors is actually the data as per the stock statement. So this is the actual DP set in the system as per the summary I have written. This is the closing CC outstanding amount as per the loan statement that I have done in the next sheet that I will show you. So now this is the percentage of utility, which of course I may not readily require, but if you see here the debtor days, so the debtor days is actually very bad. Then the creditor day, what is debtor days means? How I am able to realize my debtors, within how many days I am able to realize. So it is something abnormal. Then creditor days is actually here in the sample data given, it looks fine. So within 10 days, 12 days is making payment. So actually whether it is a red flag, of course, you are not able to receive within time, but you are able to pay within 10 days, wherein you will be having a credit period of 60 days. So you are making a payment. So though in terms of ratio it is not a red flag, but in terms of analysis based on the performance it is a red flag. Then cash operating cycle. So is able to convert the cash is taken into realization for almost 121 days is taking for this month, and average is taking 111 days. Likewise, it has given expanded ratio analysis wherein I can form analysis. So now this third step we went directly. The second step is the loan statement analysis. Of course, it is asking to drop. So earlier I am having a VB macro code I have generated, I have loaded into Excel, converted, everything I have done. But now with the help of HTML offline tool that we have created, so straight away what we can do, we can go to the selected folder, drawing power analysis, say loan statements. I am selecting multiple files. So click enter. So in a click of button, so all were processed, all the loans files were processed. Now if you see, I am having a monthly summary of loan statement, which is my second requirement. And if you see, the total consolidated loan statement is there here, which I can straight away upload into Excel. So which my VB code is already doing, but here inbuilt in the Excel I was doing that. And if you see the magic here, it has flagged related party transactions also based on the names that I have given. So if I want to specifically see only RPT transactions, I can click only RPT, filter itself. So if I see here, only RPT transactions were triggered. So then if I want to see only debit, I can filter. If I want to check the dishonored, it has flagged dishonored checks also. There are 3 dishonored checks in the loan statement based on the narration. So likewise, I was able to have a summary, I was able to have a flag of different items. Then DP analysis we have seen. Then RPT analysis. If you see the RPT analysis, say it has as per its own understanding, it has said that there are 9 structuring transactions, amount just below 1 lakh. So amount just below 1 lakh, there are 9 transactions. So 4 routing transactions. So funds triangled between the RPs. So possible PMLA reporting obligation. So I don't know why it has bought PMLA. So we need to validate this, but from its perspective, it has given some output which we need to validate. So report to a bank management immediately because of these transactions. So on each person wise, each RPT wise, the transaction has been segregated for easy analysis. So then finally observations. So that respect to loan account, if I see generate observations now, if I integrate API key there, automatically AI will give the extended observation analysis, but since I am, because of confidentiality, sensitivity of the data, I was not integrating with AI within the offline based on the requirements I have given earlier. Because what happened, how without AI, how this tool is able to write this means, because you should understand that I have created this tool with the help of chain of thoughts methodology, and I have created this in the project that I have created in Cloud. That project have the total working files that I have worked earlier. So earlier I have worked on multiple files. The observations analysis that I have derived in the earlier bank audit seasons, that I have loaded into that project. In that project there are certain kind of analysis or observations that is relevant to this. So in the tool itself, it has captured those. That is the reason why generating a tool is one aspect, but generating a tool where a project is created with the help of chain of thoughts is having a better outputs. So that is we need to understand here. So likewise, it has given related observations that data days exceed 90 days, eligibility limit for 12 months. So average data days is 124 days, only book dates less than 90 days are eligible for DP sanction. So DP is overstated, fully receivables for included without aging, so action, so on. So likewise, it has given its observations. So finally, working paper in whichever the format I would like to have, either in Excel or in a PDF format, I can make it up. So likewise, a small simple materiality if I is able to generate. So in the process of generating a tool for a small activity, I understood how AI is thinking. Okay, if I give in this way, AI will understand in this way. So for in that scenario, in that context, we will be able to apply the same for a complex analysis purposes. So like analyzing a CC. Even the similar way, I can do the same thing for a term loan analysis. What we do for a term loan analysis? So I'll just take 5 to 10 minutes because where I need to catch the flight. So I'll take 10 minutes time to finish this, because important CC loan is covered, and one of the important term loan analysis is also term loan analysis, where there is a tool was there, but before that I'll try to explain small concepts over a term loan. So when we see a term loan, what is a term loan, sir? Usually a term loan is a loan account where the borrower need to repay the loan in a fixed for a fixed EMI amount as per repayment schedule for a fixed period of time. Fine. So usually a loan account which is a term loan will have EMIs. Without EMI means that is not a term loan. So EMI will be there. What I need to do, I need to analyze, because if I go for a bank audit, if I get a term loan statement, what are the major columns that we will be facing? One is the account number, customer ID, name of the loan amount, what was the drawing power, means loan limit. Then usually both will be same in case of a term loan, so not much relevant this drawing power, because since the total loan file will have CC loans and term loans, so this was captured, but otherwise an exclusive term loan will not require this. So then what was the interest rate? If it is flagged as NPA, what was the date of NPA? Then this installment period, whether it is monthly or yearly, likewise. Then total installments, how many? Then EMI amount, sanction date, EMI date, overdue amount if any. So obviously for the case of SMA accounts or NPA accounts, that will be captured. Then gross outstanding, net outstanding, outstanding balance. So multiple interpretations can be drawn for both these things, but these two also not required. Outstanding balance, net closing outstanding is relevant for us. So this is relevant. sanction date, EMI date is relevant. Then EMI amount, installments is relevant. So then interest rate and loan amount are the important columns for the purpose of analysis. What analysis, sir? What analysis do we perform in term loan data? Because term loan analysis means a term loan data, the loan balancing file has been provided based on the CBS, whatever the extraction that they extract from the CBS, that loan they will be providing. So the information that is captured here in this sheet is calculated by CBS. So but based on that calculation only, the classification is fixed there, whether it is a standard or SMA account or whether it is a NPA account. So will there be any possibility that CBS cannot capture a loan account which is actually non-performing but displaying that as a standard loan account? Obviously there are multiple ways, multiple methodologies that a bank manager can incorporate by altering few things. Of course not mandatory things, but few things they can do it. Thereby we cannot say example, not only bank manager, even the borrower too. Say example, exactly as on the last day he might be serving the only interest portion, so that the CBS don't capture that okay interest is served, but when it is served. So likewise there are few methodologies which CBS may not capture exactly NPA account, but to analyze each loan account with the help of Excel formulas, we can identify whether that loan account is actually performing properly according to the terms or not, based on the calculation of theoretical balance. Theoretically what should be the balance and actually what is the outstanding balance as per the loan balance file is what we need to analyze. So for that we use date formula to identify the difference between the total EMIs between the loan sanction date and the date of report. Then cumulative interest and cumulative principal. So for both the formulas the syntax is same. The syntax is having these these one: rate, N per, PV, start period, end period and type. So with the I can share this file to you so that you can refer. So but what I am trying to convey here is with the help of the formulas of cumulative interest and cumulative principal, and understand that if you apply the formula the result will always be negative, because these formulas are called financial formulas, financial modeling formulas in Excel. Financial modeling formulas meaning that Excel understand that any outflow is considered as a negative, that is why the result is negative. So just if you want me to demonstrate these formulas, say this is the syntax, say these are the loan terms. What these cumulative interest and principal formulas or financial modeling formulas will do is that at a back end it will based on the loan sanction terms, what it will do, it will convert the total loan terms into the principal portion and interest portion. Accordingly, if I run the cumulative IPMT, if I run this function, I will get only interest. For the same syntax, if I run this formula, I will get principal portion. The syntax is same. So how that is done? Say example, these are the loan terms. There is a loan term account 1 and account 2. So this is the loan amount. Drawing power, of course this is not relevant for me. Then interest rate, of course NPA date for timing is not much relevant. So then total installments of particular loans, what was the EMI amount, sanction date, EMI start date, overdue amount not relevant. Then gross outstanding, net outstanding not relevant. So these are all the relevant items that I require for the purpose of analysis. So there are two methods of doing it, method 1 and method 2. Method 1 I will explain you now. So what were the first number of EMIs? So to identify what were the number of EMIs, I am just running quickly to make you understand the concept. So because of the time, so the dated if formula I am using it. To use the dated if formula, so this is not inbuilt Excel formula, but if you use it, it will work it. So what I need to do, dated if will have a start, I need to select the start date, I need to select the end date, then I need to select the units. Units is nothing but year, month or date. So likewise I need to select it. So for that purpose I have selected dated if formula. The start date is the EMI start date. The data that I was working on is relating to 31st March 24. That is why I have written this date. Had the data is related to March 26, I would have written 31st March 26 is the end date. The difference between these two dates I require in months. That is why I have given months, that too in quotations, because since it is a text, it will not understand. If I write this, then only the formula will understand as per the given formula. So that is why I have got 18 months. So from the date of EMI sanction, EMI start date till the date of my audit, there are 18 EMIs would have been paid as per the terms. Then for that 18 EMIs, what would be my interest? What total interest for those 18 months would have been paid, and what was the total principal amount that would have been paid for those 18 installments is what I am calculating with the help of cumulative interest and principal. So how we will calculate is equal to, so cumulative interest formula. What was the syntax? First, rate. Rate is yearly rate, but since my EMIs are in monthly, I will convert my rate into month by 12, comma. The second syntax is n per, means number of periods. How many number of periods? 138, comma. What was the present value? Present value of the loan is the loan amount, comma. Then what was the start period? Start period for my situation from the beginning till date. So it should always be 1 from first month, comma. For how many months? End period is till 18 months. For 18 months. So what I require to calculate the interest till the month beginning or ending for me? In my situation, say it is month ending. So keep it as 0. Enter. So if you see, as I said earlier, if I purely use my financial modeling formula, Excel will understand it as a outflow. Hence it will always give as a negative figure. So I need to give negative symbol here to make it a actual required amount for the purpose of analysis. So this was entered. Similarly, the same syntax I have used. So what I have done, I am removing this principal. What I am doing, I am just copying this amount, the formula, pasting this. Instead of using IPMT, I am just changing the function name. That's it. It will be giving my principal amount, principal component amount. So now what I was arriving, if this is the interest amount, if this is the principal amount, the total amount that I would have paid would be 6.7 lakhs. So 6.7 lakhs would have been the amount that would have been paid for the 18 installments till the date of my audit. Then fine. So what would be the total payable? Total payable is nothing but total EMIs into total installments is the total payable. If this is the total payable, if this is the total paid amount, actually if you would have been paid, what would be the difference? Outstanding would have been 47 lakhs. So means the total amount payable minus actually if we had paid, this would have been paid. So actual theoretically the outstanding balance would have been 47.85 lakhs only. But what was my actual outstanding? Difference between theoretical balance and outstanding is, I was calculated the actual outstanding minus theoretical. It is negative. I have got a negative balance. What does negative means? If the amount is less than 0, it is regular, of course. So than required, it is less only, means you would have been prepaid the amount. So it is less. So that is not a concern point for me. So it is regular, otherwise it is not regular. NR means not regular. So here in my case it is regular. If it is regular in the first situation, in the second situation, applying the same formula for a different account, in the same methodology for a different account, if I apply, I got a positive amount. If I get a positive amount, that means actually if he had paid properly all the EMIs, the outstanding would have been 5,18,000 is the amount, but actual outstanding is 5,48,000. So thereby there is a shortfall of 30,000. So 30,000 is the shortfall of amount, meaning that is actually not paid within the time for a given installment period of 48 months. So that is why if the amount is less than 0, regular, otherwise not regular. So it was triggered as not regular, which is a red flag. Now not regular for how many months? Because maybe 1 month you would have not paid, maybe in the next month you would have paid a little late. But since it is less than 90 days, it did not capture as NPA. So I was just verifying now, irregular by how many EMIs? Irregular by how many EMIs? The total amount divided by the total EMI amount, the total difference divided by EMI amount will give me how many number of EMIs were shortfall? Only 2. If my shortfall is actually 3, then it is more than 90 days. So that would have been captured as a NPA account, but not captured. So that could be a sample point for me. That sample I will go deep into the account transactions. Then I will ensure whether it is actually NPA or is there any system modification for that, or routing of transactions, anything, or payment is actually not serving the principal, payment is only to the extent of interest. Likewise, what would be the reason? We will be able to dig more if we perform this kind of analysis. The second analysis, the second method is same as first, but if you see the formula, the same formula I have used, I was removing this, again I will try to use the formula, is equal to cumulative, I am trying to call the interest amount, rate is this divided by 12, comma, n per number of periods is 138, comma, present value is the loan amount, comma, start period, what was the start period, is always 1 because I need to calculate from the beginning of the EMI, comma, end period, what was the end period here, the end period is 138 only. Earlier I have end period I have calculated up to 18 months only, but now in this method I was calculating for the total installments. What will be the total interest payable for the said loan account? Sorry, last one more syntax I forgot. So comma I need to calculate at end. Since it is a financial modeling formula, by default it will give a negative number, turning it to positive. Now for arriving, I will copy, I will paste. Instead of PMT to call principal, what I need to change? Just change the function. Sorry, I got a principal. If you see the principal, total principal will always be equal to the loan amount. I got a principal. Again, what will be the total payable? It is 5195 as per this methodology, where EMI and principal, had it been paid for total 138 months, this is the breakup of interest, breakup of principal. If paid within the time, this will be the total payable. And theoretically, what was the balance? If this is the total payable, and if this would have been the total paid, this is a theoretical balance. Earlier I have calculated theoretical balance in a different way. So actual payable and so different method, and now theoretical balance is calculated in a different method. So now I am arriving a difference for the said account, and the difference is again negative. If negative, I am not concerned. In the situation it is positive. Again, if it is positive, I need to verify the number of EMIs difference. If it is less than the relevant EMI amount considerably, less than 3, that is fine. If it is more than 3, then I need to verify deep into the respective account. In this way, I can perform all these things. So usually this is the format, all long format. So again, can I automate this? Yes, of course I can automate. Same methodology, I will just close. Same, if you convey all this, say if I have a prompt, a detailed long prompt we can have with all the formulas that I need to calculate. So what we do, we have a term loan analysis tool. So what we need to do, I need to set audit date. So audit date is, in my scenario, is the data is relating to March 24. So that is why I need to set March 24. I need to select the Excel file. The Excel file is term loan analysis. So term loan, a sample data, process the data, it has processed, then download the processed data. So it has done whatever the activity, whatever we have done, it has done in a single time. If you see the data is 31st/3 processed loan data. I'll go to the folder. So 27 March 728. So the total analysis, whatever we have done for 2 accounts in 2 methods, it has done with formulas. If you see, everything is having a formula. So all those things were incorporated with the help of a tool which is offline HTML, prepared in the same manner. So in that way, there are multiple possibilities of automating things in the context of bank audit for analyzing few loan accounts or term loans or CC loans or anything. So it is we need to spend some time to explore the things. Of course, Excel is there, but with the help of it is more easier for us, provided we spend time, validate the output and consider for the purpose of future usage. So any doubts, please let me know. Otherwise, we can conclude the session. So thank you so much for the patience. So anything, please reach out to me. Thank you so much.
Sir, thank you, sir, for being with us today for this program. And I also thank members for attending. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.